fun fact, I was on the math team in middle school and high school.
Oh, wow. So definitely not the football stereotype.
No, I guess not.
This is Fred Richani of TSC here to present you guys with my interview with Dylan Cole, standout linebacker of the Houston Texans. He was a stud at Missouri State, went undrafted, and he could have let that affect his NFL dream. He could have said, you know what, I'm going to throw in the towel. I'm done pursuing my pro football career. But he said, nope. He's going to keep going for it. And going for it he did. And now he is a major contributor to the vaunted Houston Texans defense and on special teams. So sit back, relax, and enjoy my interview with the man who's looking to break out in 2019 on a Super Bowl contender, Houston Texans linebacker, Dylan Cole.
Really excited about this season. Glad I can be on this Skype with you.
How relieved are you guys that you weren't selected for Hard Knocks?
Yeah, I wasn't here when they did the first Hard Knocks. I watched it though, but definitely it's definitely a lot better not to have cameras out there. Especially we're having camp in Houston this year, so it's not going to look too good out there for a while until we get used to that Houston heat with all those pads on.
You went undrafted. You showed some real promise in your rookie season. 2 picks, 1 return for a touchdown, 25 tackles. You had a freak, I believe it was a freak wrist injury last season?
Yeah, I dislocated my wrist week 3.
And it ended up coming back. And, I mean, the Texans look prime for, I don't want to jinx you guys, but a potential Super Bowl run. I mean, the last couple of years they've been kind of rebuilding. They got Deshaun Watson. They got a lot of other young cats in there. And now it looks like you guys really have some real expectations. How are you approaching the 2019 season, going from a guy that, a lot of people didn't expect much from, and now somebody that's like, oh, wow, okay, he was balling out his rookie season. He was balling out when he did play in 2018, and now here's the next jump.
Our expectation, we're always championship mindset. That's our thing every day. I mean, we go in, work like champions and think like champions, act like champions. So when it comes down to it, that we can be the champions. So yeah, we're really excited about this season. We understand, how the NFL works. I mean, we were 11-5 going to the playoffs last year, and I think 10 of those games came down to the last quarter, last drive. And so we understand that we've got a lot of work to do, and we understand also that other teams are working as well. So, and our deal is that we just got to do our part and work. But we do have a lot of great pieces, and we're really excited. We got a lot of great people coming back, and like I said, hopefully I can be healthy this year and help the team win.
And you did go undrafted, obviously ended up making the team and being pretty successful in your NFL career so far. But initially when you were undrafted, I mean, did your mindset immediately turn to, hey, no, I'm going to make a practice squad and then make the leap?
Yeah, so my deal was I didn't even think about practice squad. I thought, I was a little angry with it. I was a little angry about the draft. But I mean, that's how it is. I think 600 people probably think they're getting drafted and only 250 normally get drafted. So so I was a little angry. Had a chip on my shoulder going into it, and I got a lot of calls after people trying to offer me that undrafted contract or whatever. But for me, I think it was just understanding that I get an opportunity, so just take advantage of that opportunity. I told myself, I wrote it down every day, find your niche and build on it, and that's what I did, and the plan's worked so far. I just got to stay healthy.
For sure, and I feel like the NFL and the sports in general is full of guys that, unfortunately, did go undrafted, but ended up making great careers. I mean, whether it be in basketball, whether it be in football and everything else.
Yeah, there's plenty of names out there that you see go undrafted every year and make a great career out of themselves in 10 plus years. So. Definitely didn't discourage me all the way. I tell you, I was a little discouraged, but more than anything, I was angry and ready just to prove myself right.
And when it came to the 2018 season, I mean, you started with some promise, and then you had that freak wrist injury. I mean, for you to be able to come back so quickly from that, I mean, obviously credit to your genetics and the medical staff and everything, but how'd you stay in there? Because for those that don't recall, before the Texans made the playoffs, they had a pretty rough start. I believe 0-4 before going on that epic winning streak.
Yeah. So we started out actually 0-3, I think, and then we went on. a nine game winning streak. And but yeah, I mean, basically it was. I remember when the play happened or whatever. I knew it wasn't too good. I just told the trainers to tape it up as tight as they could. They were trying to examine me, and I was like, just tape it up. Luckily, got to end up finishing that game. I think if I would have had my full hand, I think I would have blocked a punt that game. I just barely tipped it, but no. I mean, after that, I mean, basically, it was me just in the trainer's ear and OB's ear, just telling them, hey, when I can get back, I'm gonna get back, and whatever that looks like. I mean, if you guys trust me with one arm, then I'm willing to go back out there. So. Yeah, I had to play with the club for a few games, but that was part of it, and then I had to just play with the cast for the rest of the year.
How do you get over an injury like that, or any kind of injury, really? Because we saw with Kevin Durant, unfortunately, with the Achilles injury and Klay Thompson. I mean, there's always pressure on athletes in any sport, especially when the stakes are high. To play with injuries, to play through pain. For you, like, is it a mentality where it's just like, hey, if I get suit up, I'm going out there, or do you have to kind of strike a balance these days in the NFL?
Yeah, I think you definitely need to find a balance, but with us, I think the names you said, Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, myself, I think we're just so competitive. The moment that we feel that we can even think about running around and being able to play, I think that's the time that we're willing to go out there. So. At the same time, you got to be smart because you don't want to make anything worse or put bad stuff on film. So there is probably a balance, but I think with athletes in general, I think we're too competitive to not want to get back out there. So it's one of those things.
How have you been able to adjust going from the college game to the pros and adjusting with, I don't want to say them legislating defense out of the game, but kind of changing what the definition is of defense?
I think, on defense now, I think you just got to be a better athlete, faster, smarter, and just understanding what you're about to see from the offense. Because, like you said, the game's changed. I mean, we can't even, especially in the NFL, you can't touch them after 5 yards. So you got to be able to react and run with the receivers and tight ends and running backs that have developed over the years. I mean, running backs are basically receivers now, and tight ends are just a bigger target receiver. I mean, the tight ends we have nowadays are ridiculous. And now that you can't touch them after 5, it's tough, definitely tough. But it's obviously something that you just have to adapt and overcome. And I think that's when you just kind of have to be a better athlete and study film and understand what plays are coming and what routes are coming. So that it's a little easier on you to react, but you just got to adapt.
What's the biggest lesson you've learned since being the pros from Bill O'Brien and that coaching staff?
I think the biggest lesson is that that this is so. I mean, it's a game at the end of the day. It's a game, but the way that this game is nowadays is I can't just go out there and physically outwork and out talent everyone anymore just because everyone's kind of on the same playing field. So it's very mental. It's a very your mind's got to be sharp. You got to be focused each and every play. And so I mean, the amount of time that I've put into film and studying the opponent and studying myself is far more than I thought I would if you asked me when I was in middle school or high school or even college.
And a lot of people have talked about, and obviously I'm not a football player, but a lot of people that have participated in both college football, pro football, and have analyzed both sports, they say that the college game these days in some ways is a little bit closer to a pro game than it used to be years ago. Going from Missouri State to the Houston Texans in the NFL, would you say that's the case, or do you still think there's kind of a big gap there?
I would say there's a gap, definitely, but I think the college coaches get to, we get college coaches all the time coming in for the Texans. So, they get to learn and understand how the system of the NFL works, and then they can bring back what they believe in back to the college. And I think college coaches are starting to do that a little bit more. And but yeah, I think there is definitely definitely a little bit of a gap, but I wouldn't say too much of a gap. I think everybody's starting to get the same mindset when it comes to preparing and organizing your team. But I think the workouts are a little different. I know college, man, they would kill you before you left. So we definitely, in the NFL, it's more about taking care of your body and doing the lifts right and stuff like that. I think in college you're just trying to break it down mentally. So it's almost like a boot camp.
And you've certainly exceeded expectations so far in your NFL career. And one guy who's had to meet some really high expectations that's done well so far is your quarterback, Deshaun Watson, who was definitely balling out last year, balled out his rookie year before getting injured. Can you just talk a little bit about his progress and what he means to the team as far as like being a locker room guy and just what he brings to the table? Maybe some of the things that we don't necessarily see on the field.
He's a very authentic guy. I think what you see is what you get, and he's very he's got a swagger. He's relaxed. He's calm, and he's developed into a great leader. He's a good friend, and I mean, great teammate. I mean, there's a lot of positives that you can say about him. So he's one of those guys that the guys everyone looks to for leadership, and he brings he's got a vibe to him that is always positive. So it's great to have him around and great to have him in the locker room. I think anytime you get someone with that status and knows how to play really well, and then you combine it with great leadership and good character, I think that's pretty rare.
Now, we like to do some quick hits around here, some random rapid-fire questions just to get to know you a little bit more. Are you ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Favorite spot to eat in Houston?
Steak 48 or Lupe tortilla.
Besides the food, what's your favorite part about playing in Houston?
Teammates. I love our organization.
Funniest teammate? Could be in college, could be in the Texans locker room.
That's tough. I think I'm gonna say Brandon Dunn.
Okay, can you tell us any stories about him that you're allowed to tell on the air?
No, he has all the jokes at any given moment. He's really witty with it.
If you weren't a football player, what would you have been?
Football coach, probably.
Okay, if it wasn't anything football related.
Nothing football related. Probably something to do with marketing.
Oh, okay. So did you originally look into like doing like marketing, some type of advertising, work on an ad agency?
Sales, advertising, promotion, something like that.
What was your favorite subject in school? I'm guessing it might have been something in the math department.
Yeah, actually it was. I used to. Fun fact: I was on the math team in middle school and high school.
Oh wow! So definitely not the football stereotype.
No, I guess not.
Biggest adjustment that you've had to make going into the NFL?
I think the biggest one is the way I eat. I used to feed myself some ridiculous stuff. Now I definitely got to watch what goes into my body so that prevent injury and all that good stuff.
You were talking about how when you get on the field now, it's not just about talent; it's about mental. It's about the mental game, and because at the end of the day, a lot of these guys are on the same level as you, and right around there. So, what was the biggest mental lesson you learned? Like, was there a wake up call you had? Like maybe in your first couple games, I was like, wow, okay, this is definitely different from Missouri State.
I think my wake up call was right when I got there, and they gave me an iPad, and we went through the base calls. What we call them is some plain Jane calls, and then we try to translate that into the rookie minicamp. And I felt like I had no idea what was going on. So it was a definitely a wake up call. I was up late hours and there early trying to learn the playbook, just the base call. So that was probably the biggest thing is like right when I got there, I saw the iPad and I was like, all right, cool. And then you get all these plays and it starts piling a little bit, and that's a pretty big adjustment because I mean the defense that we ran in college and defense that we run here is a lot way different. We'll just say that.
Do you play Madden?
I do, but I have not lately.
What was it like when you saw yourself in the Madden game?
Oh yeah, I would have friends send me stuff on Madden. I think my first reaction was that doesn't look like me, but uh, other than that, I mean it's pretty crazy. I never really even thought about that growing up. I just thought about um, making it in the NFL, and then when you see yourself, well, something that's supposed to look like you, I guess. Uh, it's pretty cool. I guess I'm pretty decent on Madden. I guess since they gave me some decent speed, so apparently I get a lot of interceptions.
Is it tough for even the players in the NFL to kind of understand like what the hell pass interference is at this stage?
Yeah, I mean there's definitely I mean people, if it's your team and it's pass interference is called on you, then we're thinking it's not pass interference. I mean, that's just how it is. If it's a close call, well, that's not pass interference. The other team is thinking it's pass interference. So I think it's all perception, and then I think we're getting pretty close with the catch. I do think we're getting pretty close. I think everyone understands when a player has control and either takes their 2 steps or has control of the ball. But I think pass interference. I mean, that's something that is, I mean, it happens damn near every play. So I can't. It's hard not to pass interference, but also there's offensive pass interference and stuff that happens with that. I mean, there's too much to go into it. So I think it's always going to be up for discussion, but I think they've done a decent job.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, refereeing's a thankless job. I mean, it doesn't matter who you are in there. It's it's always going to be some.
Oh yeah, you're always wrong.
Exactly. When you're not playing football, when you're not studying football, when you're not talking football, what do you like to do for fun?
It's a good question. I haven't done too much since I was about 6, other than sports or football. What do I do?
You like to watch any shows on Netflix? You like to,
yeah,
do Soul Cycle? Like, what's your hobby?
We'll do some shows on Netflix or HBO. We were big in the Game of Thrones for a while until they cut us off, I guess, and gave us that finale that wasn't what we were expecting.
That was a pretty rough finale. I mean, I gotta say, without spoiling it for too many people, it's just like, man. I mean, you had this great run of like 8 years, and then within one season, you just slowly unravel, and we're like, oh man, we have a show to end. We only have 6 episodes. Oh, let's just don't worry about this.
Jam it together and hope that everyone's happy.
Yeah. Well, I think you speak for a lot of people, and they certainly feel your pain. And I would imagine that there's going to be a lot of guys on offense that are definitely going to be feeling your pain in the 2019 NFL season. So we'll get your head around this. What's the best piece of advice you give anybody hoping to have a successful pro career?
I think what I said at the beginning of the deal is find your niche, whatever that is. If you're a receiver and you're running down on punt, running down on kickoff. If you're a placeholder, I don't know where you start, but you got to find your niche first, and then you got to build on that. And whatever that is, find it, and then just keep building. So I don't think there's much more to it. Obviously, you got to work hard, but you got to understand where they see you at first, and then you start proving yourself in other categories, such as like say me. So I found my niche on special teams now. Now I'm pushing. I push myself to third down defense, sub package guy, and then now I'm trying to prove that I'm every down linebacker.